I didn't think he'd be interested. Allow me. Were those pots very valuable?
The pots are insured, but not the shelving. You've no idea how much that cost me. Go away.
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label. Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train. It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, pal, what is it?
A poison dart used for hunting.
What would you hunt with that? Mice?
No, monkeys and stuff. The tip is dipped in poison.
Hey, what you got against monkeys?
I love monkeys. I was just using them as an example.
Well, don't.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Have you ever heard of Professor Oubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure, they have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah, struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
Like the one you showed me?
The very same. I could tell he didn't believe me. Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one. Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
Does number 20 have rabies?
Nah, just a bad attitude. Like I said, he's a trained attack dog. They took him when he was a puppy and messed with his head to make him the way he is.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the dock's open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just know it? I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats. I couldn't reach the bucket. I couldn't reach that far. I couldn't reach the cup. The bottle was just out of reach. Nothing was going to get me into that water if I could help it. I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. Hey, 20.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from the fence?
I was nowhere near it. It's that dog. He's crazy.
Hey, mind what you say. He's sensitive to negative criticism.
Ouch! That's hot. The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney. I decided to keep the cone. You never know when a cone may come in useful. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition? Baked beans in ketchup. Yow! Stove equals heat. Heat equals burn. Burn equals excruciating pain. The packet was full of dog biscuits. That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Just hold on to that dog. Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy. I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a dog. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. I decided not to tamper with the clamp. Those jaws looked like it could snap shut at any moment. It was a long way down, too far to jump. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall. The grill opened from the inside. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. Maybe there was a way in up there. The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. The window was jammed shut. That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss.
Who is it?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
What do you want?
I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm going to do to you. I got the feeling he wasn't too pleased to see me. No. The grill opened from the inside.
Who is it?
Police, we want to talk to you about abduction, arson, and attempted murder.
You got a warrant?
Sure, I got a warrant. Open the door, I'll show you.
You wait.
That's got him scared and angry. The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Coramonte City. It was locked. All the crates were firmly sealed. Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Coramonte!
Is that where you're from? Coramonte City?
Coramonte! Coramonte!
Okay. What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here! The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. I couldn't pry the doors apart with my bare hands. There was usually an easier way to do it. Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? There. That would keep the doors from closing. I was wrestling with the small crate when I noticed the label on its side. Danger. Live contents do not drop. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped, a secret room. Nico! Will you look at this? It was a small statue of a kneeling figure in an ornate headdress. The head was hideous, with huge staring eyes set in a decomposing face. Hey! Somebody's marketing Lobino dolls. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
About time. You could at least have helped me before grabbing everything you could find.
Not so loud. They'll hear you.
Get these ropes off me right now.
You know, the mood you're in, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
What?
Get me out of this chair.
There. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Carzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Carzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Carzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Carzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poison dart?
Of course I'm sore.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.